Hello, World of Tank Blitzers and future Momrads. I'm Littlefinger. I'm back today to share a little more knowledge with you guys. Today, I want to talk about the Leichttraktor, the Tier 1 German light tank. You can see it here in my garage. And I want to show you here the results of the games that I played putting this together. You can see I played 8 games and I lost 1. This is a really strong Tier 1 tank. Right now, my favorite Tier 1 tank, German engineering for sure. Let's show you how I have it set up. And this is kind of funny because when I repurchased this tank, I didn't even upgrade the gun or the turret, which I strongly suggest you do. But anyways, I did not. What I liked about this tank there is the maneuverability at 50%. This tank does get around the battlefield pretty well. It's got a good shot effectiveness, and like all of these Tier 1s, it does not have much protection. So looking at the standard shell damage here, 30 to 50, that's pretty standard rate of fire there at 15 rounds per minute with an aiming time of 1.7 seconds, which is really good, and a view range here at 210. Let me just go ahead and mount this Tier 2 turret, and the view range does go up to 220. So anyway, this is a good tank. Let's see how I have it set up. Here's the consumables. Again, like usual, repair kit, multi-purpose kit, and adrenaline. Provisions, I'm running all 3 provisions. Standard fuel, which adds 3% to your engine power and turret traverse speed. Chocolate bar, which adds 3% to your crew mastery. And the protective kit, which I recommend on every and all tanks that you drive, just because of the reduction in the case of fire. So ammunition, well, I just put the new turret on there, so I would go something like this. And then equipment, the enhanced gun lane drive, which adds 10%. Well, I guess it increases your aiming time by 10%. 5% to all crew, and then the spall liner. So let's take a quick look here at how this tank compares to the other tanks in Tier 1. Hit points right at the average at 160. Hull armor 14. That is just under the average for these tanks. Turret armor is the average there at 14 millimeters. Weight is a little bit under the average, which helps with that top speed of 36 kilometers per hour, which is above average. And one of the things I really liked about this tank, including the traverse and turret speeds, both being better than average, so you can get your gun turned and tank turned quickly, which helps with your maneuverability. Dropping down to the second set of numbers, we see that the average penetration for APCR is very good compared to its peers, and the average damage for those shells is right in line with the other tanks. The rate of fire is pretty good. The 68 from the T1 kind of skews that 23 average, so since this is close to the top, I rated that as good. Dispersion is better than the other tanks, and the aim time is the lowest in the group. So this is a well-rounded and easy to drive tanks, which you can see coming up here in a couple play games that I put together. So here we are with the best game. I'll put that first. This was a mastery game. And like always with mines, gonna rush the hill here. This is sped up a little bit just so that we don't get bored to death watching us drive around the map. Looks like I've got help, but I mean, it's not very smart to be wasting your shells. Turns your turret around and shooting, and then that T1 just completely cuts me off. Again, not very good driving there. It's like, be aware of your surroundings when you're when you're in your tank. It involves looking at the mini map and I guess just not driving with your scope zoomed in. So you can see these guys have all clustered at the bottom of the hill here. I'm using this ridgeline to keep myself protected as much as possible and not an easy target. They start to back off, and then I have issues with gun depression, so I pull forward a little bit. No one's really taking notice of me yet, so I am relatively safe. So, you know, I am just shooting away. I loaded the adrenaline just because I had so many targets, and I figured I might as well get as many shots in as possible. And you can see that, I guess that was a medium that cut in front of me there. You know, he came through the wide open. He was a big target and paid the price for it. Whereas if you only present a small amount, kind of like this guy does here, it's not great, but it's better than the other ones. You're not going to be the first target that people aim at. So, you know, not much strategy on the other team there. I'm going to speed it up here. There's two guys left. And this guy's camping over here at the lighthouse, which is pretty normal on this map. But you can see I'm on top of this ridge so I can get my gun depression. That is not a spot you want to stay. Regardless of how many tanks are in the game, you are just a sitting duck sitting on any hill. So just make sure that you're always behind hills. So you can see I loaded adrenaline again there, just so I could get all of those hit points. And I'm not sure where that shot goes, totally misses, and I didn't get any hit points on him, but I still ended up with 5 kills and a mastery badge with 575 damage. And you know, you help your experience points when you're spotting, when you're shooting tracks, and just in general helping your team. Got another game here on Fort Despair, and I tell the team that I'm going right. You'll see that this is a common pattern with me. I like to take the corner here, and as I'm driving along here, I'm looking at the mini map and I'm seeing if I've got anyone following me. I call out for help just because I'm not seeing the tanks coming behind me for support like I would like. So I get to this ridge line and I sit here. And it might look like I'm not doing anything, but I'm hoping that my team comes to support me. I don't want to run around the corner there all alone. And what I do notice is that we've got a guy going to base. And you can see here that the clock starts ticking on the base. Now, what that does is it normally draws the red guys out. And so I'm going to relocate, and you can see here they come. Now, I am staying behind this wall to my right because of that camping area at their spawn. And I am cognizant of the fact that if this guy turns to start shooting at me, I can get myself behind that wall for protection. And I'm just going to peek out here and see some of these guys that are spotted by my other team and put in a little bit of damage on them, taking my time, making sure the aim is good. And then they drop off. I throw an extra shot in there, hoping for the best. And this guy's T2's gotten spotted, so I'm going to get a couple shots in him before he drops off. And like I said, guys, this is an example of don't get yourself sitting on top of a hill. Make sure you're behind or beside some sort of protection. Only show the top of your turret and gun if at all possible. So we've done pretty well. We've taken 2 guys out already. I know they've got a couple that are injured. But, you know, I'm a tier 1 in a tier 2 battle, so I'm not running into the middle of this fight. I will get penetrated by all of these tanks and they'll do a significant amount of damage. So I'm staying on the fringe of the map here and just putting shells into the opponents here. There's my second kill of this game, and really no one's paid me any attention whatsoever, which is good to save your hit points towards the end of the battle. You'll find that that's really helpful for survivability and winning battles. So I see, I think that's the T-26 Going around the corner here, gonna try to help my teammate drop the adrenaline so I can get a few more shots in. He's not paying me any attention, so I'm just gonna pump these shells in one after another. And this is not speeded up, this is actual time with that gun, and that's the standard gun. So again, I'm backing up here, only showing half of my tank, and that was kind of fortunate that get that kill. A little bit of. I'm gonna speed it up here, and as I drive across, there's only one guy left, and we've got this game under control. But you know, I'm the lowest tier on the board, and I end up with 4 kills and the highest damage. So let's see how this game ends. 697 damage. You can see that's almost double the next closest on my own team. So here's a game on Copperfield. You can see I am the only tier 1 on my team, and I'm showing this one not necessarily because it was a wonderful effort on my part, but this is just showing the difference between a good effort on our team versus the opponents. You can see here that our whole team is flanking around the side to the water tower, and we're all pushing up. This video is sped up there a little bit. It's kind of fun seeing that T1 light, I think it was a T2 light going fast by me there. But anyway, so we kind of spot a couple guys that have just sat at the spawn area, and we're just gonna team up on them. And this is a big key in the game as far as focus fire is concerned, and getting tanks out early and not letting tanks with low hit points linger. You can see there I get rammed by my own teammate from behind while shooting. That's really frustrating. It's not like there wasn't room to go around me. So keep that in mind when you're driving. Pay attention to your teammates, and don't ram them, and certainly don't block them from retreating backwards should they need to. So I've got this sped up again just because you can see the difference. Our team has stayed together and taken out a couple guys early, and their team has just spread out all over the map. And now it's just a matter of us really going in and cleaning up. So like I said, it wasn't that I had a huge amount of damage, but just an overall good game by our team. So you can see 7-0. Let's take a look here at the end results. 400 damage. That's the lowest game I've shown you. Was the top, but it didn't feel like a spectacular game by any means. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I really enjoyed playing this tank. You can see it has overall very good attributes. So stay safe out there, guys. Have fun and don't get fingered. Little finger out.